if you remember it or not, but we've met at
Of course.
Billboard Music Awards
Yes, of
in
course.
2018.
Yeah,
Do you remember?
Yeah, we took a photo.
We took a photo together.
I wanted to work then. First of all, thank you for having me. Thank you for having me as well. You know, I think that there's a huge benefit in writing and producing for other people. I'm pretty sure you may feel that way as well, but it allows me to go to places that I wouldn't go for myself. And as much as it feels like, you know, I may know what I'm doing when I'm doing songs that I'm, you know, featured as a solo artist, some people know, but most people don't know that all of my solo efforts have always been songs that I have written and produced for other people. In fact, when I try to write songs for myself or produce songs for myself, they always are too complex and seem much more like a puzzle than they do, you know, a jam, you know, like a bop. But I do those for other people. So for me, oftentimes my best stuff is the stuff that I poach back for myself. I don't know how it is for you.
In 2005, I was just an elementary school kid, and I just wanted to be a rapper. As I got to know what's rap, it's, you know, basically it's rhythm and poetry. I really felt attracted for this whole genre to, you know, send the messages to the world. Actually, it's really you know, embarrassing to answer about all this in front of my idol, but for me, it's really more comfy to, you know, mostly for me, I write somebody's lyrics or the melodies for other artists, not as many as you, but it feels like, you know, it gives me another avatars and characters.
Yes.
Yes. So when it comes to me, it's a complex, and it always comes with the pain, you know, to confess. But it's still the most important part for me.
I can relate to that. I think the pain part for me is probably the fun part, because that's like some of the most vivid paint that we can use as artists when we're like filling in what we want to be a powerful verse. It's like, okay, does it hurt enough? You know, or does it feel good enough? You know. So I understand you there when you say, you inject the pain in your verses to make sure that, like, you know, they're strong. I agree.
I was wondering the, you know, creative process, you know, how it's different for you yourself, like In My Mind or Girl, or, you know, between the, you know, songs you made for the others, like the singers or the rappers, or like clips, grounding, of course. I just wonder the difference, you know, from the scratch.
So when an artist walks in, they ask for something.
Like a track or a idea?
They'll say, you know, I just want something hard, or I want something darker, or I want, you know, something that's like for the club, like, you know,
banger.
You know what I'm saying? A banger, like. And so I'm considering what they're looking for, but I'm also thinking about like the texture of their voice, and the patterns and the melodies that they do usually. Then I think about how I can give them something very different than they've ever done before. And so when you mix all of that together, a lot of times, you know, an artist will say, man, that's a little different for me or whatever. And then I'll go ahead and reference it and, you know, sell it to someone else. And then like oftentimes that same person will come back to me and say, man, why didn't you play me that? And I'm like, I did play you that, but they weren't hearing it in that way.
Wow, that's the fun part.
Yeah, that's the fun part. But then there are people who jump out the window and they go ahead and try it. Because my whole thing is just try it. We don't have to put it out.
Right.
But, you know, people are so good at what they do. Sometimes they're afraid to explore different parts of their voice, different parts of their personality, and different parts of their career. So, you know, they're a little like hesitant. But for the ones that do try it, they get to experience something new. And look, if we decide at the end of the day it's just not right for them, it's not right for them.
Right.
But you got to hear a different side. That's my favorite part of writing and producing for other people.
Like a challenging.
Yeah.
Like, so here comes another thing.
Okay.
I started to listen to music. I mean, like the hip hop music in 2005. I started with the Nas and Eminem.
Okay.
Of course, the classics.
Yeah.
But you know, as I get to know you, when I first listened to your song, especially, I just want to point out "Take It Off," because that's my playlist, one of the playlists.
Whoa.
So
that's crazy.
When I listened to it, I even translated it into Korean, and I just recorded once when I was I'm amateur.
Whoa.
So you know, when I listened to it, I just always been wanting to have the, you know, frequency, like, you know, because you always cross over this. These days, genre doesn't mean anything, but I think at that time, I think was like, you know, some rappers really criticize the rappers who sing or use the autotunes.
Right.
But I don't know, you started your career as a producer, or so you're like very natural for that. But I always wanted to have the frequency like you. Like, you know, it sometimes it's just singing. It could be falsetto. Sometimes you rap. Sometimes you just sang the hook for the other artists, like Snoop Dogg. And so, how do you position yourself when you participate in the song as a player? Like,
wow. First of all, these are great questions.
Thank you.
And no one's ever asked me that. Believe it or not.
That really matters to me.
So, and that's like no cap. Like, you, believe it or not, no one's, and it sounds like they could have, and because it's such an obvious question, but no one's ever asked me that. So I'm blown away by that. Everything, I make decisions based off of feeling. I don't make them based off of convention.
I gotta rap, I gotta sing.
Yeah, it's just whatever it feels like it needs. And I'm gonna channel it as best as I can, because I'm trying to tell somebody else who's gonna be better than me to do it. And oftentimes what will happen was artists will be like, nah, we want you to stay on there. And I'll be like, no, but it's for this person. But I channel what I feel like is missing. And I forget that it's gonna be me, because if I think that it's gonna be me, then it won't be as good and I won't be as confident. I'm only confident knowing that I am giving the instruction and the directives to someone else. Like, for example, there's a record that I did with Mystical a long time ago called
Mystical.
Wow. Yeah, Shake Your Ass, right? Ooh. So when I did that record, I was thinking, like, you know, writing wise, you know, Chad and I produced it together, but when I was writing that hook, I was pretending that, like, Eddie Kendricks from the Temptations could do it. And I remember saying to them, oh man, you know, we're gonna get, like, you know, we're gonna get you know, the guy from the Temptations to do it. And they were like, nah, the record company wants you to stay on there. I was like, wait, what? So it was like this weird thing where, like, I started to realize that was my sweet spot, is when I channel other people and I surrender to what the music needs and not let my ego or my feelings get involved. And then I actually make better decisions, whether it's gonna be me on the song at the end of the day or
the
not,
other artist
or another artist. I filled in the blank and given them a different feeling. And sometimes I would be sharp, you know, when I'm singing on there, but it just felt good and we would just leave it.
So I'm not sure if you remember it or not, but we've met at
of course,
Billboard Music Awards.
Yes, of
in
course.
2018.
Yeah,
do you remember?
We took a photo.
We took a photo together.
I wanted to work then, but I didn't want to be aggressive. So I was like, let's just take a photo. But
you were nice.
But I really wanted to. I was like, yo, let's leave. I think we took a photo backstage.
Yeah, backstage in your room, actually.
Yeah, and then, like, I was working in a studio not too far off, and I really wanted to be like, yo, fuck all of this. No, you know what? Let me correct this, because I don't want your fan base to be mad at me using this kind of language. But man, I was like, man, I wanted to be like, listen, let's leave here right now and go make some great music, because I just loved everything that you guys were doing. I love your energy, and you know, I love what it is that you represent. at such a time when, our Asian brothers and sisters and, fellow Asian human beings that maybe don't identify necessarily binarily, in a binary way, the Asian community has just been going through so much
these days, yeah,
and
gradually more and more.
The Asian community has given me so much, and I really feel like y'all's energy, you're also showing like artists, period, not just like in different, not just in one specific genre, but I think you're just like also showing people that like you don't have to be, you can be humble.
Mm-hmm.
You guys, your energy is there's a lot of humility that you all vibrate. I think that's a great energy. What people don't realize is like when you have, literally, hundreds of millions of fans,
mm-hmm.
and you encounter them, 20 and 50 and 100,000 at a time.
You can't notice a single face, It's just a mess.
Yeah, it's
MAS. That's not a.
It's a mass.
It's a mass,
and it is a massive voice, and it is a massive, using that word mass. It is a massive energy coming at you, and you say jump,
and then they jump,
and you sing, and they sing every word,
right,
and that you can feel through their voices that so many of their lives have been affected and changed because of something that you've done.
Mm-hmm. That's what
I don't know how you do that, because I've had a couple songs do that, and then when I get out there and go sing it, that would make me cry because it was too much of a responsibility. Every time I get that close to that size and what I do as a musician, I always step back.
Oh, why? It's like, is it too heavy?
It's too heavy, man.
Too much?
It's too much of a responsibility. That's why I really revere people like yourself and your band members and other artists like B and J, and like, man, what y'all go out there and go face every night on that stage. It is humbling and it's overwhelming, and sometimes your nervous system got to be built for that.
Of course.
Let me ask you this: how do you deal after you come off the stage feeling electrified and shocked every night? How do you decompress, or do you decompress, or do you purge? Like, how do you do that?